Now this is familiar enough.
Go for it, Laura. Test your royalty.
No King of England jokes, Alistair. I probably have to turn on the power first. They must be electric. I'll have to find the power main.
The place is locked up pretty tight on the ground floor. Probably have to try up higher.
This place has seen better days.
It's been condemned since the death of the owner, one Professor Worth. I shudder to think that at one time he had students.
And we have power.
Hey, now that the power's on, maybe you can go back and pull out Excalibur.
It's not Excalibur! The sword and the stone and Excalibur were two different bloody swords! Arthur got Excalibur after the sword and the stone broke in his battle with Valinor! Oh, good grief, nobody gets it straight!
That's because nobody cares.
Boys.
Sorry.
Come ye hither and hearken to ye tale of King Arthur. Enter, once and future king. Merlin deems you worthy.
The real Merlin would roll around in the mud and bark at you, and I'm being generous by calling it mud.
There's no difference between stupid and charming with you, is there?
So that there would be no squabbling betwixt ye knights, Merlin bequeathed upon Arthur yon round table, which was a table neither square nor buttressed, but circular in form. 'Twas a symbol of unity. And 'twas the winner of his And what of Excalibur, ye mighty sword of legend? 'Twas Merlin who did bringeth Arthur to yon magical lake, wherein did dwell ye lady of the lake. And from her hand did Arthur take Excalibur. For hours didst Arthur and Mordred hackle upon Salisbury plain. Arthur with Excalibur, Mordred with its scabbard. Then it was that both were disarmed. Mordred a fatal blow with the spears of Bedivere. Anon came more tragedy, for Arthur was himself mortally before he did die. Arthur badest his knight Bedivere to returneth Excalibur to yon lady of the lake. And lo, this Arthur's body then slumber, and yea, was borne away to Avalon, when it is said that from thither shall he someday return. Again.
Well, if he went to Avalon, then whose tomb's supposed to be here?
Maybe the grunting Saxon or the Roman fascist that Alistair believes the whole legend is built around. This is where the truth behind the myth is supposed to be explained. But it's been turned into a warehouse.
Fitting. There's been so little truth everywhere else, why start here? The only factual basis behind the King Arthur myths died centuries before this place was built.
Give Professor Worth some credit. If he had to close an exhibit for renovations, at least he picked the most boring one. This must be our kindly professor's office space.
Don't have a
reputation.
Said the pot to the kettle. Professor Worth says here that the tomb of King Arthur, the one his museum's built over, is a fake.
No surprise there. At least he knows his museum is for tourists.
But Professor Worth believed the sarcophagus was placed here by Arthur's contemporaries to lure thieves from the gravesite of the actual King Arthur.
Who doesn't exist?
That's where you and the Professor differ. This definitely isn't Arthur's tomb.
We knew that already.
What's wrong with it?
I've seen enough tombs in my life to know when I'm looking at a cenotaph.
Say who?
A diversion. This place is trying too hard. It's hiding something.
A body?
No, that's the problem. Now this is better.
Nice. Be careful. You don't want to demolish anything important.
Really, Alistair, I have a velveteen touch. But I'm glad to see you now think I know something. There has to be a way to raise this door. I decided to take the slow way down instead.
Should have told that to the forklift.
Be careful, Lara.
Please, Alistair. This will take some concentration.
Yeah, pipe down, Alistair. Or I won't let you sit up front with me anymore.
You made it down safely.
So am I.
But that doesn't mean you don't have to be quiet anymore. Looks like there's oil seeping into the water table. Who knows how long it's been burning?
I wonder if the architect's design deliberately took this into account.
There's your answer, Alistair.
Wow. You know you're gonna ruin your boots.
Not on the path I'll need to take. Maybe there's a way up over.
This looks like my garbage disposal.
I hope you're not leaving through there, Laura. There must be a way to stop them up.
I certainly hope so. To make a path. But it might have been worth trying just to hear you lads squeal about it.
Why don't you go down and hold that door open?
Up on the shelf over there? You could use that on the pressure plate.
It's not a crate, it's a coffin. Someone's revered ancestor is in there.
as your final resting place, sir.
If we're through having fun, it's time to get back to business.
I'll take this time to adjust some travel arrangements I made. It shouldn't take too long.
Coward. Don't worry, Lara. I've still got an eye on you. Probably won't be able to hear each other too well when you're underwater, though.
There is a god.
Hey, I heard that.
Will you look at that? Oh, this is brilliant.
That is interesting.
We're looking at myth, except it's real. They're all here. The court of Camelot.
You're sure about this? King Arthur, who wast verily of ye loins of Uther Pendragon?
I've no doubt about the authenticity of this tomb, Alistair. Arthur was the 11th century figure that became legend. The once and future king was as real then as the air I'm breathing now.
I don't know, Laura.
Excalibur, the sword in the stone. That's how it always goes, isn't it?
Pardon?
Swords in stones, Alistair. They're part of the monomyth. There wasn't just one Excalibur or one Merlin. We keep seeing swords and daises all over the world because they were everywhere.
So, you're saying that everywhere they went, they raised up kings, shaping the course of human destiny?
Well, it's a possibility.
Who? And what happened to them and their swords?
Perhaps they're in Avalon. It's as good a place as any. Except our Merlin was killed and our Excalibur was left in pieces in the hands of the locals.
So where's Avalon?
I don't know. On the other side of the looking glass, perhaps? It says Bedivere returned a fragment of Excalibur to Arthur after the other pieces were carried off by the knights.
Where did they go?
To find Avalon, perhaps. The quest for the Holy Grail. Lancelot, Galahad, Percival, and Bors. Their tombs are empty.
It says this fragment was left with Arthur to help him leave this mausoleum when the time came. Perhaps it will help me instead. King of the Britons. I wouldn't take Excalibur if I didn't need it so. I hope you can forgive me.
Mara, there's something going on up here. Alistair, you see that?
See what? Oh, hell! Get your hands!
Zip!
Go!
Alistair!
Go! Get her! Laura!
Zip, what's happening?
What's going on?
Hello, lads.
Hey, Lara. What's up?
They didn't make off with your credit cards, did they? Is everything all right? Alistair?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Just not my usual evening routine.
Then let's go home.
Brilliant. This is brilliant. King Arthur was real. The Knights of the Round Table were real. And now we have Excalibur right here in front of us. Those stodgy bastards at Oxford will have kittens when they hear of this.
It's even bigger than that, Alistair. What Arthur called Excalibur is a powerful artifact that predates him by millennia.
Well, it's still in pieces. Who brought the superglue?
While I was in Ghana, I asked you to look around for the Galali key. No luck, I take it?
It was not among your father's collection.
Or his records?
It wasn't in Ghana either. Or Rutland was... Hello? What's this? I've seen you before, haven't I? Hang on. A striking resemblance, don't you think?
The pendant was a gift from your father. I never knew from where he had obtained it, until now.
Where is it now?
It's in the Himalayas. My mother had it with her. Zip, Alistair, I'm going to Nepal. Please make the usual arrangements.
We'll take care of it. Come on, man.
Not to presume, Lady Croft, but I'd hoped you wouldn't try to use the sword yourself after what happened to your mother.
She removed the sword. That's what killed her. I don't intend to do the same. If my father had known any of this, he tried so hard, and they hated him for it.
No one hated him, Lara.
It bloody well wasn't love, was it? His reputation was destroyed. Now there's more than one thing to be salvaged from that mountaintop. The wreckage should be just on the other side.
I can't see anything. You sure you're in the right spot?
I never forget a face.